state, rules and restrictions will be enforced. That is the clear message from the police around the nationwide lockdown. Joining us now with more is the Police Commissioner, Andrew Costa. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Ryan.
So yesterday, this is my understanding so far, we had 4 arrests in Auckland, 4 arrests in Tauranga for breaches of COVID rules. Have we had any more? And what have you got to report from overnight?
That's all for now, based on what's in front of me. And overnight was really good. We did some checkpoints in various places, and we found really high levels of, compliance. The people who were out had good reason to be out, and others weren't. So pretty happy at this stage.
You must have been disappointed by the protests yesterday. There were 3 of them, apparently Nelson, Tauranga and Auckland, albeit small numbers of people, which is good. Are you aware of any more planned?
We suspect that there will be things that happen here and there. It's important probably to recognise that that's a very small group of people compared to what everyone else is doing, which is the right thing. We'll deal with them when they come along. Right to protest is there, but actually at the moment it's just not safe. And so we need to resolve any gatherings really early on.
Yeah, what are you charging them with?
We charge them with breach of the COVID Act. So generally in those situations, people be given an opportunity to disperse. When they don't, then they can be arrested for breaching an order. So that's pretty straightforward. And what happened yesterday was we began arresting people, particularly organisers, and the rest of the crowd dispersed.
Do you know where they are now? Have they been let back out already? And are you worried they might join more protests?
There are a couple still in custody, and we will see what happens today when they go to court. But the ones that we dealt with in Tauranga, we were pretty comfortable that after our intervention yesterday, there's not going to be a recurrence, and we'll just keep an eye on that. But, we're certainly going to monitor those situations closely.
What about non-COVID related crime, like gang crime? We saw an increase in the last few months, and you've spoken to me about this before, in gang activity. Has that all died off because of COVID or what?
Yeah, we're seeing really similar patterns to what we saw last lockdown, which is that our other demand goes down dramatically. It's very hard for people to be up to no good when the streets are quiet. And, so that's helpful for us, means we can focus on the COVID work.
And in Coromandel, there was an unauthorised checkpoint established by some local residents. Is it your view that those are illegal? And will you, in the future, be shutting them down?
Yeah, obviously that one was really well-meaning, and we went on to run a checkpoint in that location and turned around about 200 cars, people coming from Auckland towards Coromandel, towards holiday homes. So, you can kind of understand why we see this response in communities. Our message to them at the moment is police have got this, and if there are community concerns, we're really happy to hear what those are, and we will be doing everything that we can to make sure that no unauthorised movement's happening.
I guess in a way you can see their point. I mean, you say police have got this, but if they weren't there setting up the checkpoint, you wouldn't have come along, done your own and found those 200 people, right?
I'm not necessarily sure that's right, but I do understand the concern. And I think what we took away from the commencement of this lockdown was, just this group of people who are prepared to jump in their cars and treat lockdown as a holiday at risk to everyone else. And so for the next one, we're going to be looking quite carefully at how we might prevent that and, act earlier to avoid the holiday travel.
Andrew, this morning, Ryan was stopped by one of your henchmen, and he just checked to see what he was up to. Can we expect that? Like, are you guys able to do spot checks to make sure that people's movements around the city, especially in Auckland, are legit?
Yeah, we're asking questions. Hopefully we did that politely. I'm sure we did. And it's really just, one of the reasons for travel, making sure that people know that we will be checking.
And also, Andrew, look, people are getting stressed. They do get angry. They do get frustrated. Are you anticipating a spike in violence? And I'm probably more aiming at a domestic violence. I know it wasn't as bad, thank goodness, in the last lockdown. But what is your advice there? What are you recommending? How are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, we're still available, and our normal channels to communicate are open, and we are still responding to those situations. Obviously, lockdown causes stress for families, and if that stress is there, we encourage people to call early so that they can get the right kind of help. Thankfully, as you said, in the last lockdown, it was reasonably good. And so, we just need people to look out for each other and neighbours to look out for neighbours. If you hear things going on, don't hesitate to call us.
Are you willing to arrest someone for not wearing a mask?
It's unlikely that we would move straight to arrest, but certainly if we found people repeatedly not complying, requests to put a mask on, then that's a possibility. It's more likely that we will be issuing infringement notices for people who refuse to wear masks.
What percentage of your police officers are vaccinated?
40% or thereabouts of our officers, and obviously that's much lower than we would like it to be. Our people are out there protecting communities and put themselves at some risk to do that. They're wearing protective equipment, but we want them to be as well protected as they can be.
What's the hold-up? Because they want them. I've spoken to frontline officers who are desperate for one. What's the hold-up?
The prioritisation decisions didn't see police at the top of the list. The focus was on border and those who are most vulnerable. Police are really next cabs off the rank, but it's been down to our ability to access vaccine fast enough. We do have our own internal provider, so we've been able to roll it out as vaccines become available.
Have you asked for more from the Ministry of Health, or have you gone to the Minister to ask if they can help you to get more, especially given the fact we're in a lockdown and these are frontline servicemen and women now?
We've had a number of conversations around that, and we're making some very positive progress right now in terms of that. Our internal rollout program will continue tomorrow, and we've got high hopes of being able to speed that up as a result of recent conversations.
All right, Andrew Costa, thank you very much for your time this morning.